Hello, everyone. So I want to talk more about this evolution in human consciousness, what you and I are going through right now, this great awakening and the splitting of two worlds. What is this? And I'm going to speak to it through the lens of the quantum field and physics energy. I'm going to break it down the best that I can so that you can understand it through that lens. Okay, the earth and every human standing on the earth has been living in and existing in a third dimensional field, which is physicality. It's an energetic field, but because of the density or the low frequency of that energy, it's physical in nature. A dimensional field is a spectrum of consciousness, okay, that can be experienced when you are standing in that dimensional field. Every dimensional field has a spectrum of consciousness. Every dimensional field has new ways of experiencing itself. So a third dimensional field is very different than a 5D field or a sixth dimensional field, okay? And as you move into higher dimensional fields, consciousnesses that are not holding the frequency of that dimensional field won't be able to exist there. Fear is a very low frequency. It's a very low consciousness. It will not be able to be experienced in a fifth dimensional spectrum of consciousness. It's just how energy works and physics works. Consciousness creates every experience we have on this planet. So because we are living in a third dimensional field, most consciousnesses that we experience are in a third dimensional frequency, okay? And our bodies dictate the dimensional field that we experience. Our bodies do, because we are in physicality. You're consciousness, I'm consciousness, which is energy. But because we are deciding to play in a third dimensional field, we have decided to play in physicality. And when you decide to play in physicality, your physicality dictates your dimensional field. So your body's frequency is going to dictate what dimensional field you are in and what dimensional field you're experiencing yourself in. So we have been in a third dimensional field. We have been experiencing ourselves with third dimensional consciousnesses: fear, anger, manipulation, joy, peace, love, birth, death, weddings, murder, all kinds of stuff, right? Wealth, abundance, lack, homelessness. These are all consciousnesses that can be experienced in a third dimensional field. It's a very large spectrum of consciousness with duality. Now, around us right now in the quantum field are an infinite amount of other dimensional fields. Right here, right now, like that Russian doll, third dimension, fourth dimension, fifth dimension, sixth dimension, seventh dimension, all available right here, right now. As long as your physical body is holding the frequencies that can be found in that dimensional field, you will be able to access those consciousnesses. And what is happening right now on the earth is that we are starting to access the fifth dimensional field. We are starting to access fifth dimensional consciousnesses, fifth dimensional states of being, because our bodies are starting to hold higher frequencies, and our body is starting to open us up into that fifth dimensional field that has always been there, but we haven't been able to access yet because our body hasn't held those frequencies. So the awakening process, what we're going through right now, is the body starting to hold more light. When our bodies hold more light, guess what we start to see around us? The shadow. And so what we're seeing now is the large human collective shadow that has always been around us, that has controlled humanity for a very long time. We are starting to wake up out of it because the frequency in our body is increasing, allowing us to pop out of the third dimensional field and start accessing other dimensional fields. We start to see what we have been in. We start to see the collective shadow, the fear, the greed, the propaganda, the coercion, the mind control that we have always been in. We start seeing. And the divine design in all of this is that large tsunamis or large bombs will drop that will start a fire within the human to activate the light within them so that they can start to see what they have always been in. For instance, 2020, you know what dropped. And the reason it dropped is because the large majority of the human collective was holding enough light and frequency in their body that they would be able to awaken out of the shadow. This is how beautiful and powerful and divinely designed this all is. Everything is an opportunity to ignite the light within you so that you can access new and higher states of consciousness and states of awareness and states of being in higher dimensional fields that have always been here. What is it going to feel like to you? Well, one, you're going to start to see all the corruption, all the greed, all the fear, all the evil. You're going to start to see the collective shadow. Two, you are going to no longer be able to be the version of you that you were prior to awakening. You are going to lose friends. You're going to gain friends. You're not going to be able to be around certain people. You're going to only be able to be around certain people. You're going to have disagreements with people that you never thought you would. Your family may not talk to you right now. You may not be talking to your family. Your job isn't going to resonate any longer. Where you live is going to change. The clothes that you wear, the food that you eat, what you're drinking every day, the way you interact and engage with people, everything changes. Your entire world slowly or quite quickly changes, and you think you're going crazy. People may say that you are a conspiracy theorist. All kinds of stuff starts to happen when you move from a 3D dimensional field to a 5D dimensional field, when you start to experience the earth splitting into two worlds. And we are doing it simultaneously, all together as one 7.5 billion human collective on one earth plane. That's the quantum field. I may have friends and family that are not yet accessing the same dimensional field and the same states of consciousness and states of awareness. We're still side by side walking down this path on a park somewhere, and my family member or friend is talking about all the fearful things, all the stories, the narratives, the propaganda, right? And I am looking at a tree, feeling the frequency and energy of that tree. I'm feeling at peace. I'm feeling present. I'm feeling in my now. I'm feeling my breath, higher state of consciousness, while simultaneously my brother, my sister, my mom, my dad, my best friend is really feeling a lot of fear, anger, resentment, rage, etc. Different state of consciousness, different dimensional field. Two distinct, different dimensional fields being experienced by two different physical bodies in the exact same location. Welcome to the quantum field. We don't go anywhere. We don't separate. We don't leave. We move through this transformative evolution on one planet. And that's what we're doing right now. We are transforming like a caterpillar into a butterfly. New systems will be in place in this new world. Old systems are collapsing. Many of you are literally being skyrocketed, like shot out of a cannon in order to create new systems in this new world, right? We have to allow this old system to dissolve. And because you are starting the process before most of humanity, you're going to be able to watch this occur in the most miraculous way. So you're not crazy. You're not a conspiracy theorist. You're not losing your mind. None of that is true. You are evolving. You are moving from one world to a new world. And it's a very crazy experience. We have never done this before. Your body is increasing in frequency. Your body is holding more light. You're starting to change so many things about your life, and you don't have to understand any of this other than there's nothing wrong with what you're experiencing. You're not crazy. You're not at all. You are transforming. You are shifting. And so be acutely aware of the fact that every single day may be a new day, may be a different day. One day you may feel so aligned, so peaceful, so sovereign, and the next you're insecure, you're in lack and doubt and limitations. That is the transformational process. Higher states of consciousness is when you are sovereign, you are aligned, you are present, you have compassion and empathy for humanity, you live in abundance, you are not living in lack or fear, limitations. You are not in victimhood, right? You're not living in a past. You're not living in the future. Right? Lower states of consciousness, or this old earth, this old world we used to live in, and many of us are still living in, and many of us are trying to move out of, we're going back and forth. This old system of being is everything is outside of me. I am not worthy. I am not lovable. I need others in order to be seen, held, and heard. My voice doesn't matter. I am in lack. I am in limitation. I am a victim to everything. I am not a creator. Over here, I am a creator. Here, I am not a creator, right? I'm not sovereign. I am not safe. I am definitely not safe, right? I have to look to others to save me. Here, I am safe. I am safe to experience it all. Here, there is greed. There is mind control. Right? You live in so much fear in this place. Disempowerment. Over here, it's empowerment. This is how we are changing. This is how we are evolving. This is how it works. From a quantum perspective, it's all energy. And from the quantum field, your physical body is what is increasing in frequency, allowing you to bop back and forth. And guess what? You don't need to do anything other than be aware of your state of awareness, state of consciousness, state of being, and choose over and over and over again your states of being. That's it. And compassion, empathy, and love for yourself and the rest of humanity. Anyway, there it is in a nutshell. I hope you understood that. I love you.